Okay, our last problem, problem number 5 from chapter 10, monopolistic competition and oligopoly. So the problem we're going to work is a firm in a monopolistically competitive market, which means there's more than, there's several firms in the market. So it's a hybrid. It's not perfectly competitive, although it is competitive, but it acts similar to a monopoly. And the graphs look similar to a monopoly. So we want to just jump down here, I guess, and look at our graphs. So we have the same type of graphs as we did in the monopoly. We had a total revenue and total cost over here on the left, and the demand or a price line right here, the demand, marginal revenue, which is the red, marginal cost, which is the green right through here, and the average total cost is the purple curve right here. Okay. So we want to know what the marginal revenue and the marginal cost, average total cost, total revenue, and profit are if the firm is producing and selling 20 units. So the quiz is going to ask you, I'm going to ask you on the quiz to compute from here over, from here. Whoa, all these are behind. Let me put him in front. From here over, from here over. So on your quiz, you're going to get a table that looks like this right here, So you're going to want to compute a marginal revenue, marginal cost, average total cost, total revenue, and the profit, and you're going to be given quantity, price, and total cost. So what you're going to want to do here is compute total revenue first, just by simply multiplying the price times the quantities. So you get the total revenue here by multiplying, again, price times quantity, which is right there. And then we can get marginal revenue by looking at the change right here in total revenue divided by the change in the quantity. So this, once again, is a tricky. So let's jump back over here to our, so if we don't know what marginal revenue here is, and I ask you to do what? I ask you to do 20, yeah, 20. So let's assume we know what the total revenue is at the 20, an output of 20, but we don't know what marginal revenue is. So we get our calculator and we subtract the revenue at 20 from the revenue at 10 to get our change in revenue. So that's going to be 480 minus 250. Okay. And then we're going to divide that by the difference, the margin in the quantity, which is 10 to 20 to 10, 10 to 20 is 10. So we divide that by 10. We divide it by 20 minus 10, right? That's the actual formula. So when we divide by 20 minus 10, which is 10, we're going to divide by 10, and we get a marginal revenue of 23 right here. So you want to make sure that you don't just take the change in total revenue, because you're jumping up here in units of 10 in the quantity. So we want the marginal revenue per unit, right? So the change, if we add 10 in the quantity and we change 200 what was that, 230 right here, then we want to, then per unit, that's a marginal revenue of 23, right? Now, marginal cost is going to be done the same way. We're going to take the change here in the total cost right here, which is let's see, which is going to be, where's my calculator? At the 20, it's going to be 435 minus 275, right? And then divided by the change in the quantity, which is tens, because we want to know the marginal cost for 1 unit. So we want to divide by 10. So we divide that by 10 and we get a marginal cost here of 16. So that's how we figure out our marginal cost. So now we need to figure out, we've already figured out the total revenue. Average total cost right here is easy. You simply take your total cost and divide it by the quantity. So we want to get, if we didn't know what the average cost here was at an output of 20, we would simply take the total cost at an output of 20, which is 435, whoops, sorry about that, 435, and divide by 20, and that's going to give us a 21.75, right, for our average total cost. And then lastly, we have our total cost. We figured out our total revenue. So in order to get profit, we simply subtract total cost from total revenues. That's 480 minus 435. So 480 minus 435 equals 45, and that's our profit right here at an output of 20 units. So that's how you figure those out. So you can figure out your marginal revenue, marginal cost, average total cost, total revenue, and the profit for any level of output that I'm asking you to do. So question 3, will other similar firms be motivated to enter the market? How do you know? Well, you need to look and see if this firm is earning an economic profit at their level of production, right? And we know, just like in a monopoly, this monopolistic competitor is going to produce where marginal cost equals marginal revenue. So they're going to produce here, which is 40, and we can see that up in our graph. If we go to 40 right here, we can see that's where marginal revenue 19 equals marginal cost, and that's where they're going to earn their highest profit. Now, the way this works out, they maximize their profit in 2 places, but you're going to produce more if you can to raise your revenue, and you're going to produce where marginal revenue equals marginal cost, where you also earn a maximum profit of 80. So they're earning a profit. You can see it here. They're earning an economic profit, because you always, I haven't said this before, but in all these models, we always call this economic profit, because we always assume that the implicit and the explicit cost are both included in the total cost. So we're including the opportunity cost, or the implicit cost, in the total cost. So whatever a profit that we're making here is economic profit. So if we're making economic profit, which we can also see on the graph, because we can see that our price up here on the demand curve is higher, and the blue, the price here at our level of output is higher than our average total cost curve in the purple, which means we're making a profit since our price is higher than the cost, average cost. So other firms are going to be motivated to come into this market because there's profit shares that they can pull away from this firm, right? So if what would happen in the long run is as firms came into the market and pulled customers away from this firm, their demand curve would shift to the left until a point, and the marginal revenue would shift. So their output would drop, their price would fall to a point where every firm in this market was making zero economic profit. In other words, price would equal average total cost, and that is what we call long run equilibrium, where every firm in the market would be making a zero economic profit. So if the firms in the market are making an economic profit, firms will enter the market. If firms are making a negative profit or losing money, if their price is below average total cost, then firms will leave the market, and the demands for the firms that stay in will shift to the right. In other words, the price will come back up to where every firm once again in the market is earning zero economic profit, in that their price equals average total cost. In this firm, price is above average total cost, so firms will enter the market there because this firm is making economic profit. Okay, enough said about that. Now, number 4. At what level of output and at what price does this firm maximize its profit? Well, we've already kind of answered that, right? We've already said that we know they're going to operate where marginal revenue equals marginal cost, and an output of 40, a price of, we can't tell here, so let's go up to our table. We can see that an output of 40, we have a price of $22, and that's where marginal revenue equals marginal cost at 19, and we have a profit of $80, which I think answers the question 5. What is the dollar amount of this firm's profit? The profit maximizing the level of output, 80. So the key to you guys being able to answer these questions is to know how to compute, marginal revenue, marginal cost, average total cost, total revenue, and profit if you know the demand, price, quantity, and total cost. So we've gone over how to do that, and you're in the ballpark. I mean, you can see you're going to have these graphs on your quiz to look at, so you'll be able to see to make sure you're in the right ballpark, just by looking at the graph. I mean, you can see here just from the graph that the quantity is 40, or close to 40, and the price is somewhere between 20 and 25. So if you go up here and you figure out your answers to be 40 right here, and 22 right here, the price that's matches up with what we're seeing right here, right? Price here, 22, quantity 40, right? Marginal revenue equals marginal cost at 19 right there, right? Okay. See, the only other thing is you're going to have plenty of time to do this quiz. You're going to have 2 hours to do 5 of these problems. So I highly encourage you to double check all of your answers, double check your math to make sure that you don't make any errors. And that's it. Good luck on your quiz. Uh, we'll have office hours next week before, so you can attend office hours before you take the quiz in case you have any questions to ask me at all about any of these videos, uh, or any questions about the quiz. Okay.